Today, we honor the Queen, our Queen. Innovative, trailblazing, daring to kiss pop princesses with tongue live on MTV. Taking us where no queen could ever take us. Her words etched in the stones of time. Don't just stand there, let's get to it. Strike a pose, there's nothing to it. Vogue. Madonna, you're the Queen. And today we honor the Queen, our Queen. You've known this Queen and her reign, for it was her that shielded us from the rain. She urged us peasants to stand under her umbrella. Ella, Ella A. Robin Fenty, you're a queen. Today we honor the Queen, our Queen. There could be 100 queens in the room and we'd still only be honoring this one queen. A star was born this way. A poker face and a telephone. Lady Gaga, you're a queen. Today we honor a queen, our queen, who loves herself and shakes her ass over and over. Her message helps all of our confidence. It's about damn time we honor her. Lizzo, you're a queen. And today we honor a queen, our queen, the thought of thoughts. She made us rap about our wops. She's a savage and she doesn't care who knows it. Megan, you're a queen. And today we honor the Queen, our Queen, naked on your gram. Ass cheeks spread, because she's free, baby. And you'd spread your ass cheeks too on Instagram if you were under a conservatorship for a ton of your life. We don't deserve you, Brittany. You're a queen. And today we honor the Queen, our Queen, the one whose bills you paid. The one whose jelly is still shaken after all these years. The one who ordered men to put rings on women's hands to signify their worth, while reminding you that if you cross her, she'd make a whole album about you and your missteps, and get her sister to beat your ass on an elevator. Beyonce, you're a queen, and long live the queens.
Duh.
Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello. Did you have a good week? I sure hope so. I hope it was full of grand slams, both tennis, ass, and Denny's. They just closed the Denny's in my hometown, found out today. Rest in peace to all those seasoned smothered cheese fries with bacon, ranch, and sour cream. And don't you forget that hand-mixed chocolate milk they would serve, because I used to like it real gross. Meow. No, man, you guys, I am into tennis. It's new. It's a new love. My mom and my brother have always been into it. My brother was actually the captain of his tennis team in high school because we come from athletic stock. So on Labor Day, they're watching the US Open. Pretty normal. I'm sure you've heard of it. And on the off chance you haven't, the US Open is when the best tennis players in the world come to Queens to see who the baddest. On Monday, I watched a 24-year-old man by the name of Francis Tiafoe beat Nadal, a big shot, and it was positively electric. Cut to Friday night, he went to the semifinals, and there I was with 4 friends at a bar on 23rd Street sipping tequila and chomping on truffle fries, explaining what 15 love is and why they switch sides every time. I get tennis now, finally. I also get why you can star in Zoolander, Dodgeball, and all the Meet the movies, and that's where you want to end up. Sitting at the US motherfucking Open by choice on Labor Day. Right there in the stands, watching all the action go down. I'm gonna be there next year. And this is not like the time I said I was manifesting Harry Styles tickets that never came into fruition. Not because I can't manifest Harry Styles tickets now, you silly wabbit. Also, sidebar, can we all just admit that we saw him spit? Okay, he spit. The reason I didn't have Harry Styles tickets is because I didn't manifest right on that one, okay? This is a US Open pledge, nay, a promise that I will be there. Also, if anyone's got the hookup, I'll need 3 to 30 tickets for next year's US Open. So make it happen, Captain, please, and thank you. Friday night, watching the tennis match, the bar gets full, the music goes off, all the TVs go on, full volume. I'm starting chants for Francis that ain't catching on, and he doesn't win. And that's okay, because he got super far. Now he's on the map. If you didn't know about him before, you know about him now. He must have gained so many fans from this US Open, and he's going to win a bunch in the future. And there I'll be sitting right next to Ben Stiller on Labor Day, cheering him on when he does. Francis, Francis, Francis. I got a DM from an old coworker on Instagram. It was this picture of me and a friend of ours at my 30th birthday party from a few years ago. And in the DM, the friend who DM'd me, his profile picture looked weird, and it said I wasn't following him. So I went to click on his name and check out what was up, and basically, he DM'd me from Facebook to my Instagram. Did you know people could do this? I didn't know people could do this. I don't even have Facebook on my phone. I might go on Facebook once every 2 months on my computer, but it ain't my cup of tea, you dig? So I felt violated naturally by this message. I think Facebook may be the HPV of social media. If Instagram represents millennial women, which, let's be real, it does, it's still hot despite the amount of time it's been chugging along, keeping up with fads left and right. Instagram rolls with every punch despite being a couple days or a couple weeks behind, because I'm sorry, but Instagram had to work. Do you know how many sex bots Instagram has to ward off while blocking people from their stories and trying not to like people's posts that they're stalking from 4 years ago? Okay, Instagram is tired. Still hot, but tired. And here comes Facebook, infiltrating Instagram's womb, aka its DMs, without Instagram even realizing it, dropping its Facebook HPV everywhere. It's not cool, it's not consensual, and it's classic Facebook. People who are DMing from Facebook should not be allowed to DM to Instagram. Bottom line is, Instagram, you're doing amazing, sweetie. My cousin had a surprise party for her boyfriend this weekend, and it was absolutely the most fun. And sometime around 9:30, we all look out, and it looked like a house was ablaze, completely on fire, off into the distance. I mean, it really did at that moment. When the entire party looked over to watch to see what was going on, Humble by Kendrick Lamar came on. The quiet of the party mixed with what we thought was an emergency, plus that song's intro, actually made it feel pretty scary. 100% horror movie vibes. My cousin calls the fire department because she's my relative and we act fast and dramatic. Come to find out, it was just a bonfire and all was good, but because we didn't know the exact address of where this was happening, the fire department showed up at her house. They were super pissed, and I was also pissed because none of them looked anything like the calendars, frankly. One kept saying he spilled his Chinese food for our little false alarm. Too much info, my guy. And someone at the party said it wasn't a wildfire because it didn't smell like fire. And when they said that, the fireman was like, yeah, it does smell like something else, though. No one said anything. No one even acknowledged his little comment. And then, much like your uncle's divorced drunk friend who's spending his first holiday without his family sitting at your Thanksgiving table, the fireman repeated his bad joke. It doesn't smell like fire, but it does smell like something else. To which me and my now Denny's free mouth said, ah, yeah, we were smoking weed, but we put it out for you guys. I mean, really, what is the problem with weed? Without it, we wouldn't have Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, I think I can twerk now, for real, and that feels good. Number 2, when I really laugh from a text or a DM that someone says, I text them back, actual LOL. I want the reader to know, over here, we laughing, baby. Number 3, Botox, more like expensive tox. Number 4, I wish I thought to coin the nickname Daddy for myself first, before everybody else snagged it. And number 5, if you Google Third Rock from the Sun, you would learn that it was also a song by an artist named Joe Diffie. All right, Joe Diffie. Before I get into my guest intro, I would love to recommend a must-see show in the greatest city ever. The show is called David and Katie Get Remarried, starring David, Carl, and Katie Hartman. It's a musical comedy that damaged my cheeks from what? TML. Too much laughing. Not only is this show hilarious, you also get free tomato soup and cake. It's running at 8 p.m. every Friday and Saturday from now through September 24th. Tickets are $25. And if you want a little more info, you can head over to davidandkatiegetremarried.com. I saw it on Friday night, and it kicked my weekend off right. My guest this week is returning member of the Party God Squad, Priscilla Davies. Priscilla's wild word was voodoo, so I'd grab your spell books if I were you. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram, at Wild Nights Pod on Twitter. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, feel free to subscribe on YouTube. And if you want to support the show with your wallets, you can join my Patreon for $2 or $5 a month. A big thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review on Apple Podcasts. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Priscilla Davies. Priscilla, welcome back. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I'm very excited. So the last time you were on the show, it was March 2021. So that's a good... Wow. Almost a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, wow.
I know. Doesn't it feel like it's still weirdly 2021?
I mean, I feel like I'm still stuck. I'm still waiting for my 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
we really got robbed. We really got robbed of 2020.
Big time. Big time.
That is, that we ain't getting that back, unfortunately, but I just can't believe how fast time flies. So if anybody is a new listener or tuning in, Priscilla was back on the show about a year and a half ago. She shared an awesome, one of my favorite Wild Night stories about a night out in the city with her friends and a car breakdown. You have to go back and listen to it. You know, when she was telling that story, I was just getting the rhythm of my show going because I don't even think we were 20 episodes in. And you kind of just the whole time, Priscilla, pulled me in. And it's like, I don't know how you do the voodoo that you do, but you pulled me in. So Priscilla's wild word was voodoo. So Priscilla, let's hear Wild Night story number 2, voodoo.
Okay, so this is actually a wild day story.
Okay, here we go. We're here for it.
So this is actually, it's not really even that long of a story, but there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of layers. So, you know, we're going to get into this.
It's a 7-layer dip of stories.
100%, 100%. So, let's see. Okay. So just a little bit of background. I am a first-generation American. My mom is Haitian and my dad is Equatorial Guinean, which is a tiny little country in West Africa. Okay.
Got it.
So this particular story takes place in Haiti. Okay.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
So maybe 10-ish years ago, 9-ish, 10-ish years ago, me, my mom, and my sister took a trip to Haiti for the first time. This is the first and only time I've been. Okay. And I was an adult.
And I love that your sister's making another appearance. Your sister.
she is.
The real star.
Is really what's going on in my sister's life. Okay. She really is the real star of my life. Yeah, I forgot she was in my other story. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's the trifecta. It's me, my mom, and my sister. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we go to Haiti and we spend 2 weeks in Haiti. Okay. And so at this time, so my mom is originally, she herself is from Port-au-Prince, which is the capital of Haiti. But her parents are like, she's a city gal. You know, her parents are from two different, like more like her mom was from this place called Sodo, which is where the story takes place.
Okay.
And her dad is from another place called Jacmel, another beautiful spot in Haiti.
Yes.
So we bounced around. Like she showed us all of this stuff. So we spent like some time in Port-au-Prince, we spent some time in Jacmel, and we spent like a whole week in Sodo. Okay.
Got it.
So this is my mom's maternal line, my grandma, my ace boom coon, okay?
And I just want to know, in terms of when you say bounce around, is it like, are we taking small planes? Are we taking buses? Are we taking trains? Are we driving? What is the travel like in Haiti?
All driving,
All driving,
all hectic ass driving, like, because the roads are not good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, now probably 10, 15 years later, they're much better, but like, oh my, and we went, this is maybe like a year or 2, 3 after the earthquake. So there was still like a lot that like you could see the White House still had that, like, you know, that like it had like that crack in it, like going through the president's palace.
Right.
And so like all that stuff was still very much there. So that was also adding to like the issue with travel and stuff. So everything, it would be like what should be like an hour drive would be like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. You gotta like get pulled over by the corrupt cops, grease their hands. You know what I mean? Like it was like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's an adventure, you know, it's an adventure. So we did like some time in Port-au-Prince and some time in Jacmel. We go to Sodo. Now, Sodo means, literal translation is source of the water. Okay. Yeah. So this is a very rural area. It's very countryside, very rural. My whole family on that side are all farmers. So this is like, we're in the countryside. Okay. Gotcha. And so this city called Sodo, the reason why it's called Sodo, its claim to fame is that it has a huge waterfall, source of the water, okay? Yeah. It has this huge, like beautiful, incredible, like I was up in it, it's amazing. Like, and it goes through the whole town into like babbling brooks and stuff. And like when we were staying there, there's like no running water, which we'll get into. Okay. But like, so like there were some times like where we would take a bath, like literally in the like runoff of this water. It was like Fern Gully. Like I'm sitting here like, damn. I mean, incredible. Yeah. So the reason now, this place, its claim to fame is this waterfall, but it's also because the waterfall origin, the source of this waterfall is a tree. It's just a tree. Oh. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's just a tree. And this tree, there was the water started flowing after a miracle. Okay, so some people in the town saw the Virgin Mary, an image of the Virgin Mary in this tree. Right. And then I don't know how long, I should have researched this. I don't remember I don't know if this is like 100 years ago, 200, I don't know how long ago this is, but they see this Virgin Mary and then the water starts flowing from the tree. And this miracle was like it's an official miracle in the Catholic Church and everything. So this town Sodo has a festival every year. This is its other claim to fame, and it's based on the miracle, the source of this. Yeah, exactly, of the source of this water. Okay, so that's just a little bit of background on this area that we're in. Okay.
Love it.
So my mom's mom, my grandma, that side of the family, like I said, they're all farmers. And so they have like vast amounts of land. Okay. And so like most, okay, so this is a big thing for like first generation kids, Americans. Like our parents are always like building some house back in their home country. And they're always fighting with family over land. Okay. Like this is a normal thing. Every first gen listener is gonna be like, yep, yep.
I actually have quite a few friends who are first generation Americans, but their families are from Dominican Republic. And I've had them tell me that that's what's going on over there too. Like they're just like, oh, this one's fighting. I got to go to Dominican Republic for 2 months, and it's wild. Yeah.
It's always drama. It's always drama. So, because I mean, really, right? Like these things start from like one or a couple, right? That then have children and then have children and then have children. So now at this level, there's like a bazillion of us, you know,
people
like
are involved.
Yeah, with this land. So, okay, so now I'm gonna give you the geography of this land, right?
Okay,
so it's
perfect.
like vast land. And I mean, girl, it's stunning. It's like
Beautiful,
hilly.
yeah.
It's like out of this world beautiful.
Yeah.
And so the property that they all live on, the cousins, we'll call them, the
Okay.
property. So it's basically like I said, big all in. And then there's this one main road that goes to the property, and it connects to the main road, like perpendicular to the main road of the town. Okay. So off this road, you turn, boom, that's our family land, our road. And along the side of this road are all these little tiny houses. And each of these houses, a cousin lives in, cousin lives in. Okay. And one of these houses is even the house that my mom was born in. Like, it still stands.
Okay.
It's this tiny, and I went in there, and it was kind of crazy, like, to be in the space that your mother was born.
Yeah.
It was weird. But like, and there's these like tiny, like 2, 3 not bedroom, like 2, 3 room houses. Yeah. Okay. These are simple farming people. Okay. And so all of our cousins live down this track. So all together on this land, on this little road, and then we have some cousins that live in the town here and there, but really all of us live here. There's probably now, like, at that time, like 60 people, 70 people, right? Between kids and adults and all of this, okay?
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody, okay? So my mom at this time was building her house, okay? And so she chose to use some of her land because she owns some of this, like, inherited it from her mom. So she decided to put her house on this track with all these other people, all these other cousins, right? At the end of the thing. Now, here's the thing. They all live in these little, tiny, simple houses. My mom comes and builds a McMansion. Got it. Okay. Now, listen, in America, it's not a McMansion, but it's maybe like a 2-bedroom, like it's a nice size. It's not big by any means in American standards, but by comparison, it's a McMansion. Okay.
Yeah. They're looking at her like, what is that? Yeah.
And she's, like, and they have this belief that like all the Americans were all rich, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, it's just feeding into that, Yeah. And these are people who, like, they are working, like, they're poor people, you know what I mean? They're working hand to mouth, like, they really do depend on us in America sending them checks and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, baby girl, what are you like? So when I get
read
to this
the road, read the road.
Girl, listen, this, not only that, she has a fish pond. Let me just give you a little side story just to give you a hint of what's. Please. So one year she leaves. Okay, because her plan, which she does now, but at this time before it was built, her plan was like to go spend the winters there. Okay, so when she comes home in the summer, they're unattended. She comes back to Haiti after one summer. There's no fish in the pond. You know why?
They ate them.
Can you imagine being Po and right across the street is a fish pond with beautiful little koi fish.
I was going to ask if they were koi.
Some of them were koi. You know what I mean? But it's like exactly like you said, what are you doing here, girl? Read the room, you know?
Those koi fish didn't last a day when she got on the plane.
Girl, she had to, and she had to come back fighting and arguing with them. Now they leave them alone, but
Yeah.
So, okay, so we get there, right? And like, we spent a whole week there. So we were there for a hot minute, and we didn't stay in her house because it wasn't ready. We stayed with another cousin who lives like, so the land is hilly, right? So like, we're on this level, this cousin lives down the hill, like over here. Okay. But they're very close. It's like this. And so, we're staying with them. So, but we're interacting, like we're meeting all the cousins and stuff. And like, as like the week goes on, me and my sister are like, girl, we're not feeling these cousins. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
We're like, I mean, and not all of them. Obviously, there's like 60, 70 people here. There's different, like whatever, but just as like, we don't like things are happening. Like, it's just like, so my mom is always having drama with these cousins, even before we showed up in the mix. Always, like, there's always like I told you, they're fighting over this land. Okay.
Yeah. Before the koi fish.
Before the koi fish, there was always, because they're all trying to like, get a little, like, you know what I mean? Like sell off a little bit. And my mom is not that bitch. My mom is like, this is my land. You know what I mean? And I'm going to do it. Da, da, da. And like, there had been beef about them, like building putting a cemetery on her land. And she was like, get this cemetery. She made them dig up all the bodies and my mom don't play.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of bad blood here, right?
Gotcha.
But they're all cousins. So it's like, it's bad blood, but we all cousins, whatever. So as this week is wearing on, we're like, And let me give you an example of something that happened so you can understand why we're like, okay?
Okay.
So there was this there's all kind of drama. There was like this drama that went down where one of these cousins, okay, got upset with my mom about something, like she was putting a boundary. They're all kind of like, their boundaries are a little loosey-goosey with all of them. And my mom is more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so about her boundaries, yeah.
Exactly. So like, she's really just putting boundaries up that they're not feeling, you know? And so, but he was like my generation. So he's not her age, he's like my age. And so he gets fucking pissed, right? And so this land, like this, they didn't have running water at this time, okay? What they did have though was one spigot for all of them.
Okay.
So like, you would have to go outside. There was running water on the land, but not in everybody's house.
Right.
So there's this one spigot that you would go, and if you want, you go out, you fill up your pot, you fill up whatever you need the water, your bottle, whatever.
Yeah.
Even the neighbors would come and use the spigot and stuff, right? And so this fucking guy got upset, and you know what he did? In retaliation, he took a machete and he chopped the spigot. Yes, bitch.
But that's everybody.
Everybody's spigot.
Yeah, even his own.
It's his spigot. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that's like that's scary behavior. You know, that's concerning behavior, especially because he's my generation, right? So like that's my mom. That's like an elder. Like, so this is what you do to your elders. Like, that's what's going on here, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the kind of energy that we're like kind of around, and not to shade my family or anything, but I think it's like they're land rich people, okay? But they're not money rich people.
Right.
So, but they still they're like, you know, like they have that, like, you know, deposed duke kind of mentality. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, you got the title, but you don't got the money, boo. You know what I mean? But you're still acting like you got, like, they have a sense of entitlement.
Right.
Because their whole life it's been the land has provided for them. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to do shit. They can just go outside and whatever. The land provides for them.
They have their family, everybody has their back because they're all community, grew up together. The water spigot's right in the center, or it was, rest in peace. Like, yeah, so I get it, yeah.
You know what I mean? So so by the time now you get to people my generation and younger, they're so divorced from the hard work of tilling the land. Now it's just, when you don't feel like working, sell off a piece of land. Okay. That's the kind of mentality. And I mean, I think that's probably what happens in any kind of family when it gets down to these like levels or whatever. So that's where the mentality of like, oh, you piss me off, I'm going to fuck up the spigot kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where the mentality of these wishy-washy boundaries kind of comes from. Like, well, you're in America, like, you should be doing for us and da 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 da. And my mom does do for them. That's also it too. She does do for them. But it's like, come on, guys. So that's what's going through me and my sister's head. Like, what's up? Like why did you build your house here? Like, you're like, to me, I'm like, you're in the lion's den. You know what I mean? Like, and you're gonna come here every year by yourself. You know, like, for several months out of the year, like, we're not like, you know, I don't feel comfortable with that.
Uneasy feeling that you and your sisters are going to have every time she goes there. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, so I was like, you know, so this is where really the story starts. Okay. That was all background. Sorry.
Love it. No, I know we want to have it. We want to have it so we can go along.
So we're winding up our trip in Sodo. We're ready. It's coming to that time. And I'm like, you know, I'm just not feeling, you know, but it's like, what can you do? The house is, it was already pretty much done. It just didn't have the fixings, you know? So like, it's too late now. So my sister, I don't know who came, I probably was me, my dumb ass. But my sister and I were like, I was like, you know what we should do? Yeah. We should do a fake voodoo ceremony to bless the house. So that So, and let me give you a little background on that,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So in Haiti, right, Vodou, as they in Creole,
Hmm.
voodoo in America is, a religion in Haiti. And so after, because of colonization, like they brought, after, being brought over enslaved, right?
Hmm.
They brought their religion from Africa, Vodou, right? And they kept practicing, but it became demonized, obviously, as colonizers do, right?
Of
They come in, they
course.
tell you your religion is wrong, and they give you the Bible, right?
Right.
So Haiti was like 99% Catholic by the time, my mom is alive. Okay.
Right.
So they're 99% Catholic. And so like they've been brainwashed at this point now to be like scared of Vodou. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's not like, like a respected religion. It's like, no, they've been brainwashed thing. It's
That's
witchcraft.
bad. That's bad. But really, it's the core. It's the core
It's,
of that religion.
it's
Yeah.
exactly. I mean,
Hmm.
it's like voodoo in America, right? It's witchcraft. We believe it's negative and it's black magic and all that stuff.
People have a tainted feeling towards it, almost like very spell casting.
100%.
Hmm.
And very and there's a lot of like superstition and lore around it as well. So people are like in Haiti, they're like most of them are like, oof, if they know you mess with voodoo, it's like stay away from that person.
Okay.
Okay. And then now like a lot like the Protestants came and them, so now like that strict Protestantism is there.
Yeah.
So they're very like, whoo, stay away from that voodoo. So
Mm.
there is I know, so when I just suggest this, I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we about to play some mind games with these people, okay?
Yeah.
We're about to speak their language and let them know, don't fuck with my mama when we're not here, okay?
Yeah.
So my sister's like, and my sister, she's the rational one between us, as you know from the last story.
As we know from the past, yes.
And so she's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, now we're really doing it.
Yeah.
So we go to our little cousins that are like a little bit down like the main road down this hill,
Okay.
right? And they're like 10, 11, 5, whatever. And so we're like, look, we need our supplies, right? So I'm like, we sent them down to Nabouk, okay? Nabouk is the town square, okay? So we sent them down to the town square. We're like, we need water, we need white candles, we need, I mean, we're making this up as we go along because I know nothing about voodoo, okay?
Right.
I'm like, we need matches, and we like send them down, okay? And they're like, what's it for? What's it for? And I'm like, we can't tell you about it. We can't tell you about it,
Yeah.
So we're already starting the little, the buzz.
The rumors, yeah.
The rumors, okay? So we send them down. These little ass kids come back with our supplies. And so my sister and I are like, all right, we're about to do this, okay? So the plan is we're going to do this, but we're not saying anything, right? So we tell my mom, and we tell my mom too. And she was in on it too. Like she was cool with it too. So
yeah.
So we're like, yeah, we're doing this. And I say to my mom, like, listen, mom, but like, the purpose of this is like the effectivity of this is subtlety. Okay. So I'm like, if they ask you what's going on, you just say, I don't know. They're doing something to protect my house. That's it. They want to protect me. They want to protect. Don't do no extra shit.
Yeah.
Which my mom is an extra bitch. Okay. So this is going to come in later.
Dig up those bodies.
Oh, she said, bitch, on my lands, you better get a shovel. Okay.
Yeah. You better get a shovel and quick.
Quick, fast. And let me just tell you, the police were involved in that story, by the way. So she called the popo. She was like, get them all out of here.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, she's an extra bitch. So I'm like, listen, it's subtlety, right? Like we're not saying anything. Like this is about creating. It's a mental. We're playing a mind game here. Yeah. We're getting rumors out there, right? So she's like, okay, aye, Captain, right? So I'm like, bet. So she goes, I'm like, go away, do your thing. She's gonna be me and Elizabeth, right? So Elizabeth, my sister Elizabeth, we we make up some bullshit ceremony. We're like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, okay? So we get on the porch. And so remember how this is set up, right? So like people everybody can see us. We're not, because people also, they'll be out too. It's hot as fuck during the day. You can't be in that little house. Yeah. So we know we have a little, we see some cousins over here. And then over here, like a little, like in the distance, there's some neighbors too. And they can see us. So we know, we're ready.
You know what you're doing.
We know what we're doing. So we light these candles and we go to each corner of the house. So we start at one corner, okay, of the house. And so my sister stands behind me. So like we're in a single file and we have the candles lit and we would mumble jumbo.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she would do one circle, two circles around me. Like nothingness. And then when she got behind me, we would both bow. And then I would take the water and I would spit it on the side of the house.
Oh my God.
And so like every time, so we do this for each corner, and every time, like we are holding up, we're dying. So we have to, like, there's a little area we go to there, nobody can see us, where we have to just like crack up for like 30 seconds, let it out, like try not to pee our pants, and then straight face it again, and then go to the next corner, okay? And so after the first corner, we see the little cousins are starting to like, like little like birds, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on? What's going on? And so we just keep doing our thing. We see the neighbors over there, like, suddenly it's like 3 people. Now it's like 4 people, 6 people, right? The crowd is starting to build, okay? Yeah. And so we just ignore them and we just, on every single corner. And then, so now, by the time we finish, the whole compound is up in arms, okay? Up in arms, okay? So some of the little kids, they run down to the end of the street to that house that my mom was born in. Yeah. There's another cousin, okay? Cousin Fito. By the way, rest in peace, Cousin Fito. He died a few years ago. So Cousin Fito, now let me tell you who Cousin Fito was. Cousin Fito was an Ugon. Okay. And Ugon in Creole means like a voodoo priest or a medicine man. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
That was his profession. Okay.
Very important to the community then.
Yes. Mm-hmm. However, Fito is a fraud. Okay. Fito was a fraud. Rest in peace. But he was a fraud because my mom tells me this. She explains, because to do that work, you can't just do it. You have to, it's a spirit that's supposed to be in your family bloodline. So it must be like my grandfather had this spirit, and it's a spirit, meaning like I don't know, one day as like, I guess you come of age and the spirit comes upon you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so that is the sign that you have this gift, in the US, we call it mental illness, right? But but it's really not actually, it's really, it really truly is that like you have what they call in Creole, the loi, which is the spirit. Okay. And you have this healing spirit. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so, but it's passed down. So it's like, if your grandfather was it, maybe your uncle will be it. And then you might be it, okay? Yeah. We don't have that spirit in our family, okay? Mm-hmm. So Fito became what he became by just apprenticing, which is you can't do that shit.
No.
So
he's in the bloodline.
It's got to be in the bloodline. So he is a voodoo priest. He is a medicine man, but he's not the real Jim Holyfield. So that's why they go to get him, because he should be able to know what we're doing, okay? Gotcha. Because he's supposed to have the
gift.
So now. Exactly. So now here comes Fito with like this crowd of kids and parents and coming like storming, like what to see. And I mean, like you can see like the terror in his eyes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like coming to see like, what are we doing? He's watching us to see, and he's going off. But this is all in Creole, and we don't speak Creole very well. So my mom is like, I know we're trying to create a buzz at this point, but like, why is this guy going off like this, right? And so my mom translates, and she's like, oh, well, he asked me what you were doing. And remember, I told that bitch, I said, girl, keep it simple, keep it plain. Don't. Yeah. She's like, well, no elaboration. She said, well, he asked me what you were doing. And I told him that, you were doing, a voodoo ceremony to protect my house and to protect me, so that, so that if anybody messes with me, something horrible, she goes to this whole thing that I told him that something horrible is going to happen if anybody messes with me, and that you guys are doing, some special African voodoo because your dad is from Africa, and I don't know what this voodoo is, and it's next level voodoo, and it trumps their voodoo. Like, it's like, bitch, that wasn't wasn't the story we told you to tell.
That wasn't the
That
plan.
wasn't the plan. We didn't tell you to tell them that, like, we told you to keep it simple. So that's why they're all up in arms. You know, they think we got that real deal, Holyfield, African continental, you know, like drag your spirit to hell voodoo, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, bitch, that's not what the hell we told you. So they're all up in arms and they're going off or whatever. And then, eventually, like, everybody calms down or whatever, and everything, like, kind of goes back to, like, whatever. But from that point forward, like, the last couple days, like, people, like, gave me, like, put distance between, like, before that, they were all over us. And after that, they just, like, you could tell, like, they were like, ooh, let me keep a little distance. Like, it really, like, the shift, it messed with them, and the shift had happened. And so that's basically the end of the story, but I do have a little epilogue. Okay.
Please.
So a little part of the epilogue is that it's been 10 years. She moved in, everything's great.
Yeah.
Her koi fish are still doing good. Like, she's had no problems. And you know what? All of the people that we were, especially like that dude who chopped it with the machete.
Yeah.
Like, all of the people who we were like, I don't like this fool, I don't like this fool, they all ended up leaving over the years. Yeah, so maybe that voodoo really worked, but they all ended up leaving. So, like, all the drama's kind of gone, and it's like, so now, like, you know, her house has been fine. She had no problems, no drama, nobody's done anything. But then, let me tell you, this is the actual epilogue, the second epilogue. So, like, 10-ish years after this goes down, right? My mom is talking or whatever, and she's telling, like, the story, the drama about the cemetery on the land. Okay. And she's like, yeah, you know, I remember, like, when that went down, like, the day all that drama went down, she's like, I went to sleep and I had a dream. And Lame, which is her mom, my grandmother, this is their people, right? Her people. Mm-hmm. She comes to me in a dream. And in the dream, she goes, didn't I tell you to stay away from my family? Didn't I tell you not to go, you know, build your house over there? This is my grandmother in the dream, like, cursing my mom out for building her house there, right? And I was like, really? And then that's why my mom goes, oh, yeah, she told me that. She told me not to build my house there. So my grandmother warned you about her family, told you don't fuck with these people. They are not the ones. And what did you go and do?
Built the house.
You went and built your McMansion with your koi cons right next to all their little tiny homes while they're struggling, you know? And it's like, girl, now it's all making sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, now I see why all this nonsense went down. Like, you had a warning and you didn't fucking listen.
Nope. Now, when your mom is gone, does she still go to there every 6 months?
She spends every winter there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she goes. Mm-hmm.
And when she's not there, does she let anybody use her home, stay at her home? Nothing.
She locks it up. Yeah.
Got it.
And she can't. She because again, remember what give them an inch,
they'll take a mile. Yeah.
They're gonna take a mile. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She can't. Yeah.
Wow. And does she enjoy her time when she's there?
She does. I mean, she has a great time, but, like, every time she comes home, she has a story about it's always drama. But that's my mom. My mom she won't admit it, but she loves drama. And she's like, sometimes she's the cause. It's like she is the cause of her own. It's like exactly what she did. Like, you were born not to do this, you did it, and now you have all this drama. Yeah. So it's like, you're the cause of your own drama, girl. I hate to break it to you, but you are.
That's amazing. Well, that I couldn't have predicted that story at all. That was so incredible, so wild, and, like, actually truly wild, because it's like something can happen. You know, you could have a crazy night, you could have a crazy whatever, but when you're in another country, that, yes, your mom is from there, but this is not your country that you're spending all your time in. You know what I mean? You're still American, you know? And so you're in another country. People are looking at you like you got money up the wazoo. And what are you doing here? That could be sticky.
It can be very sticky. And, like, that's why I just wasn't feeling the vibe. And now I realize what I was feeling, which is what my grandmother had warned of, which is like, listen, when somebody tells you that they're like, don't fuck with my family, Don't fuck with, like, that's deep. You know what I mean? That's like a
Yeah.
mom telling you don't date my son. Like, that's deep. You know what I mean? So,
because that is the thing you're not supposed, like, it's not necessarily the thing you're not supposed to say, but it's the thing that it's like, why are you saying that? Are you that good that in your core, you know, this is not the move? And I just have to warn you, like, in good conscience, I have to warn you.
right, exactly. And it was in good conscience. Like, my grandmother is like a fucking saint, right? Like, because like there's so many stories. I mean, so many stories over the years of the nonsense that like this side of the family has done. And I mean, God, I love them. Like, they're great,
of course,
but they're messy. They're messy people.
Yeah.
You know, and my grandmother, like, by comparison, was not like that. Like, she's just like about her business and just like on above the level, like does the right thing, like, you know, good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah.
And that energy was passed down.
I mean, I hope so. I think so.
Well, especially if you were feeling it too, and she was warning your mom in a dream, and you were like, actually, we feel this too, without knowing that information, that means it was passed down.
Yeah, you're right. Yes,
you know
100%. I mean? Yeah.
So that's legit. That was wild, Priscilla. Wow.
I know it's a random story, but
no, I loved every second of it. And I learned a little something. I didn't know the history of voodoo. I didn't know that that it was basically taken away from Haitians.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, they had to basically like practice it in secret, you know, especially during slavery, during, you know, like, and then after, you know, the Haitian Revolution, you know, when they had freed themselves, the damage was done, you know, the mental warfare. So now they're all, you know, Catholic and believing in white Jesus, you know what I mean? And they're sitting here like shitting on their own, like, and also voodoo is really like a nature religion. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you're shitting on this, you know, basically like respect for like the earth,
Mother Earth.
And Mother Earth, kind of like shit like that. So yeah, it very much, it's just like, I mean, the same thing even happens. I mean, the same thing really happened everywhere, right?
Yes.
Like wherever like the Roman Catholic Church went, any of the indigenous religions and stuff were just not only wiped out, but demonized. And that's the problem, is that it's like, you know, oh, this is, you know, devil worship, and, you know, and straight up Haitians will tell you, and not just Haitians, Africans, and they will tell you straight up, like, yeah, that's devil worship, you know, you're doing witchcraft, and it's really sad because it's, you know, your spiritual strength is everything. And if you give it away to people who don't have your best interest at heart, aka colonizers, like you end up in circumstances where we are in the 21st century, you know?
Yeah, that it's now everything, all this religious bullshit is getting pushed on us from every angle, and they're like, oh, don't separate it. It's like, no, it's separate for a reason, because of these reasons. So
exactly
and it's a manipulation tactic too, because anybody who really is a WWJD at their core,
yeah, right,
for the most part, I don't want to make a huge generalization, because I know there's some people probably like living in their little house on top of a little hill, and they're just like practicing their rosary, and they are just scared by religion. But anybody, I heard about this thing a while ago. I actually learned it from listening to this comedian, Monterey Martinez, from her podcast. She was talking about a thing called Christ consciousness, which is, have you heard of this?
Oh, I am a hippy dippy girl. I've heard of it all.
Okay, great. Me too. So, and I really like subscribe to that, because it's like, you don't need, I mean, you can, if you want to, use the Bible, do whatever makes you happy. But for me, it's like, I don't need to like subscribe to this religious mumbo jumbo rhetoric that's harmful to women, harmful to the people in our country, like harmful to everyone, when really it's like, well, what would Jesus do? Jesus hung out with like the coolest people. He turned water into wine, and he would be a good person.
He beat some ass too, okay? He took care of the tax collectors too. You know what I mean? It's like, exactly.
That's like living purely, I think.
100%. And that, I like that concept of Christ consciousness is amazing. Like, and it's like, it's the idea that what's sad is that it was corrupted into like being turned into like basically a mascot. You know what I mean? The idea of, you know, following this Christ conscious or a consciousness of like oneness and all and every love your neighbor and all that stuff suddenly became all about like this dude in a picture who's like really like isn't he like modeled after the Borgias? Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that.
That Jesus Christ, like the image that we know of Jesus Christ is really like the Pope. Do you know the Borgia Pope? They had a show.
I'm gonna look it up. The Borgia Pope.
Yeah, there was a Showtime show about the Borgias, and
they were. That's not the one with what's his face, Jude Law, the young Pope. That's something different.
It's not no, I don't think Jude Law was in that one. Okay. No, I'm not sure, but it could be. I'm not sure. I don't know. But like they're basically shows. Exactly. Basically, this was like a big dog in the church, and he decided to like create a new image of Jesus, and he used his son to model after. So it's like, you know, we, you know, we've turned this into like this, you know, thing, and it's like there's so much. It's a mess. It's a mess, and we're experiencing the results of that.
We are in real time, and to anybody listening who thinks Jesus looks like this mascot image, which is the best way to put it, a mascot image, when he comes back, he's gonna tell you, I don't look like that.
Okay.
So
that is not me.
That is not me. I don't know who photoshopped this picture, but this is not me. You got them sandals right, but that's about it.
He's like, and that outfit? Okay, that's
okay,
cute.
I like that outfit. I like that robe. I like that robe. We're gonna get one of those robes. But yes, I do subscribe to the Christ consciousness belief, because I'm like, just be a good person. If you inherently know what is good and what is bad and what is harmful to someone and what is oppressive to someone. So just be better without shouting your Bible rhetoric in our faces.
110,000%. And it just really sucks that this is the way it is. And I hope it changes, I hope
it changes. And we do that by being mini influencers in our own way. And I have to say, Priscilla, I've been noticing lately, you've been hitting up that TikTok. You've been doing your thing on TikTok.
It's you. You know, I have been on TikTok. You know, it's a great like format that really feeds to everything that I like to do.
Yeah.
Not just performing, not just joking, but also I like to be behind the camera, and I like to be editing and putting effects and shit. And like, I love it. And so, and you know, listen, it's discouraging as hell because TikTok, I need some views. I need some more views, please. But yeah, I've been loving it. I've been having a fun time and trying not to take it too seriously, because I feel like when I first started, I was all like, oh, you know, it's the right color shirt, you know what I mean? Or like whatever. And it's like, just have fun and just whatever. Yeah, literally.
So that's awesome.
And I have been having fun. Yeah.
Good. Have you been getting like random followers and being like, oh, who is this?
Oh, yes, for sure. I get my little likes and I get excited. And I see my little count going up, you know. Yeah, it's been great. TikTok is like, I get why, you know, I didn't get onto it until the pandemonium.
Oh,
you know,
of course.
Yeah. I was like, I'm always like a late adopter. So I was like, I was like, TikTok, whatever.
Yeah.
But when there was nothing to do after a while, I was like, let's see what Gen Z is doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I got into it a little late, but I'm like, I feel what they do there. I like it. It's a vibe, and I can literally, it's bad. I can be on there for hours, it's bad. It's
just
really
scrolling.
bad.
Well, actually, I'm someone who I knew that about myself. I had a couple times on TikTok, especially during early pandemonium days, where I was scrolling through it and I would get that message, and it was like, would you like to stop and have a drink? Maybe make yourself a sandwich, aka get off of this app, bitch. It's been 2 hours. So after that happened to me 2 or 3 times, I said, maybe this is not the app for me if I want to be more productive, if I want to do whatever. So I can't just watch a couple videos. So I only watch TikTok videos when my friends will send me them. But lately I have been on the app more, and I've been like, I think I can get behind this. And I love the new trend of people making music videos of like a day in their life, when they're like, oh, I went to this thing. I went to the beach, and then now it's a music video of the day.
Right.
That has been something I've been dreaming of since I was 8 years old. So that is the TikTok era I can get into. So I've been on it a lot more. But the thing I love about TikTok is how specific it can get in your.
It's just so random, but
yeah.
but super specific.
Yeah.
And like, even just like some of the content, it's like, I love, one of my favorites is like those like micro moment content. You know what I'm talking about? Like where it'll be like where someone imitates the dude standing in front of you in line at the grocery store or something.
Oh, yeah,
and
yes,
it's like,
yes.
it's just nothing, but it's so accurate. And you're
Yes,
like,
it's the
you're like,
accuracy.
that is that dude that stands in front of me in the line at the whatever, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. People, the internet is so quick with it, like with everything, you don't even have a second to think about it. You've got to really be like, oh, I have this idea, I got to put it out.
You got to do it. Yeah. That is another thing that I like about TikTok, is that it really is a great format for creators to just create and just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And not, you know what I mean? Like not overthink it. Like you said, like, oh, I have this great idea, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't, overthink it. You don't wait till the, like the golden hour to shoot it, whatever. Like, because as creators, we tend to be very like, it's got to be perfect before, the every little piece has to be in its place before and that is something that I've been like a practice of mine is like, yeah, just do it, Priscilla. Like, just do it. Don't think about it. Do it, post it, and let it go.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. Now, besides TikTok, is there anything else you want to share with the people? Anything exciting that's happened in this past year and a half that everyone should know about? What's going on?
Oh my God. Like, is there anything exciting that's happened? I mean, nothing that's coming to mind. Of course, I'm on TV.
Of course.
You can see me probably in some commercials or hear my voice because I am a voiceover actor.
Yes, I love it when you book. I see it. I'm like, go Priscilla, I'm watching.
Gotta pay the bills, girl.
Absolutely. That's the best way to do it.
Exactly. So yeah, I have some commercials running. I think I have one for US or a few for USAA.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, let's see, I have some Chrysler commercials running where I'm doing voiceover.
Nice.
So if you see a Chrysler Pacifica commercial,
you know
that voice is mine.
That's it. Well, that's amazing, Priscilla. Now, where can you just remind everybody where they can follow you on TikTok, on Instagram? Give them your socials.
Yeah, you guys better follow me on TikTok. Give me some likes, give me some views.
Right.
You can find me at Pris the Goddess across all platforms. It's simple, it's easy. It took me a long time to get a handle that worked across all platforms, and I'm so proud of that one.
It's a beautiful one. It is so wonderful. Priscilla, it was so wonderful to have you back on the show. I know you're going to come back a third time and give me another story. I just know it.
Because my life is messy.
Messy in the best way. And so this was wonderful. It was great to have you back. And you and I will talk soon, okay?
Yes, thank you for having me. I had a great time. I hope you guys enjoyed my wild story.
I'm sure they did. I know I did. Thank you so much, Priscilla. We'll talk soon. Bye.